All right, folks. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about buying AT&T stock. Now, I'm not just buying AT&T stock. I'm actually doing a couple of interesting things with it. I'm going to talk about the reason why I'm buying it is for one, lowering my cost basis, increasing my dividend yield. In addition to that, I'm going to talk about the wash rule and tax purposes all in one in today's video and my strategy when it comes to AT&T stock. But before we get started, everybody, you know what to do. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. We're trying to grow this thing into $1,000 subscription. No, I'm just playing, but it's totally free. It costs you nothing to subscribe. So if you're watching this video and you find any value into it, hit that subscribe button or just hit it just to have a great day. In addition, make sure you hit that like button. It puts a smile on my face. And stay tuned. All right, folks, we are back. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a tax professional. I'm going to be explaining things the best that I know how and how I understand it when it comes to taxes. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only, and any investment may involve risk. I'm just sharing my strategy when it comes to buying AT&T stock. So, a couple things here is I am an AT&T stockholder and I recently purchased more AT&T stock. I just couldn't resist the recent dip. And for two reasons, I made the decision one, to lower my cost basis and, and also increase my dividend yield. But I do not want to own more AT&T stock. I want to keep the same amount of AT&T stock I currently have, but I want to lower my cost basis and increase my dividend yield. So how can I do that um, while maintaining the same amount? So I came up with the strategy to buy more AT&T stock. So let's look at this real quick. So I've been buying AT&T stock since 2017. These aren't all my shares, but these are the specific shares that I'm looking at. So since 2017, I've been buying AT&T stock. And when I first bought it, it was $38.94 all the way down to $32.59. So when you look at this next chart, I target 23 shares on average. It costs me $34.56 versus my new shares at $25.75. So that is a difference of $8.81 per share. So I don't want those shares that's costing me $38 or above $32. That's on average just $34.56. I want to replace those shares that's going to cost me $34.56 with these new shares that's costing me $25.75. So how I'm going to do that? So I'm going to talk about it right now. So I am going to lose money on this, but overall, when I'm done, it's going to increase my lower my cost basis. I'm going to have shares of AT&T at a lower cost, and it's going to increase my dividend yield. So I'm going to write off losses. That's right. So when it comes to stocks, let's realize capital losses from stocks can be used to reduce your tax bill. You can use capital losses to offset capital gains during a taxable year, allowing you to remove some income from your tax return. Now, if you don't have capital gains to offset the capital loss, you can use capital losses as an offset to ordinary income up to $3,000 per year. So if you have more than losses than $3,000, hey, feel sorry for you, but it's up to $3,000. To deduct your stock market losses, there are other things you need to do, like fill out particular forms, but we're not going to get into all of that. If you have a tax preparer, have them talk to you about it. So basically, that is my goal. So we get to write off $3,000 a year if you have losses. So that is my plan, is to write off some of these losses. Now, in addition, I want to talk about the wash rule. Yeah, the screen says write off losses, but I want to talk about the wash sell rule. So you can't just buy and sell, right? I just bought these shares last week. I can't sell right now because there's a thing called the wash rule, right? You can't just buy sell within the same weekend to say, "Hey, I'm going to write off those losses." No, it doesn't work like that. So basically, the wash rule states that if an investment is sold at a loss and then repurchased within 30 days, the initial loss cannot be claimed for tax purposes. So, in order to comply with the wash rule, investors must therefore wait at least 31 days before repurchasing the same investment. So basically, you have to wait 31 days at least before you repurchase the same investment. I'm kind of doing it the opposite way. I bought the shares and I plan on selling after the 31 days. I believe that should work, but I'm going to find out next year when I do my taxes. So I'm going to wait a month. So at the end of November, I am going to sell the 23 shares that I'm targeting at a loss. Now, well, it depends on what brokerage you have, right? So let's talk about Robinhood because these particular shares are in Robinhood, and Robinhood has a rule called first in, first out rule. So basically, it's the first shares that you bought are the ones that you sell. So whenever you're trying to sell, whenever you sell your shares in Robinhood, it's the first in, first out rule. Now, depending on what brokerage you use, like Fidelity, they give you the option to actually target particular shares you want to sell, which is important when it comes to taxes, right? You want to kind of target the ones that you want to sell. In this case, my first in are my lousy shares AT&T because the stock just kept on going down and it's still going down. Who knows when the bottom is ever going to stop? But I do want to continue to hold my AT&T shares, but I want to lower my cost basis, and this is the reason why I'm doing all of this. Now it's a bit complex, but overall, my goal is to maintain the shares that I have, lower my cost basis, and increase the yield. And by doing this, I believe I'll be able to do that. All right. And that's basically my overall thoughts. It's all about maintaining my AT&T stock, but at a lower cost yield. So let me know your thoughts below. Do you own AT&T stock? What do you plan to do with your AT&T stock? Have you been buying a dip, or do you just say, "I'm out. I'm just done with AT&T stock. That's it." Leave your comments below. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. It help support the channel. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Hopefully, everyone's doing well in their investments. They got some good deals this past last week when it came to the dips. And until next time, everybody, have a brighter financial future. Peace.